Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested, and got a quick PSA for you. If you happen to be in the Southern California area this weekend, it is one of my favorite conventions of the year, DesignerCon. It's in Anaheim, California, at the Anaheim Convention Center, right next to Disneyland, and I look forward to this convention every year. I've seen it grown. It's a place where I get to meet some of my favorite designer artists and makers who make all sorts of interesting stuff, from established artists like Jason Freeney to friends of Tested like Melissa Ng, who's gonna have a booth set up this year. And if you're in the area, please come by, check it out. I'll be there all weekend, and of course, we'll have a bunch of videos from the show. And speaking of videos, we got one more video for you from New York Comic Con about designer toys. I'm gonna geek out with my friend Benny from Tenacious Toys about all things designer toys. Let's check it out. Here with Benny, of course, of Tenacious Toys. How you doing, Benny?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, and every year we come by and you have a different selection of stuff. You spend like a year building up to obviously the biggest East Coast comic convention and find the designer toys, the interesting designer vinyl that people out there want to know about. What do you have this year?
Okay, well we have a bunch of different vinyl toy exclusives. We've got Martin Sue's Dragon Boy, which the Power Core guys made in about 10 different colorways. So we're one of the booths that has our exclusive colorway, and My Plastic Car, and about 10 other vendors. We've got James Groman. James Groman designed that gorilla for actually a New York City-based media company. That's their mascot, so it's hilarious. Like, I'm like, yes, I'll sell your mascot. It's sort of like, I understand my weird role in that.
Which is interesting, like someone like James Groman in the designer toy world is like a legend, right?
Yeah.
Like he won Designer Toy of the Year a couple years ago with King Corpse, and he's done some stuff with DC now, some crossovers, but that's not his traditional style, but it's still out of his brain.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, it's sculpted really well, so it's got some really nice detail, and like if you know Groman and his style, you can see that he designed that. And he went through the normal design process with them to like bring that to life and get all the proportions right and stuff. Yes, it's out of his wheelhouse, but like, I mean, I think he killed it. I think it really shows that his capabilities are like actually beyond what we expect out of him, which is sort of interesting to
Not
see him do that.
Not just the grotesque.
Yeah.
It's also still a creature.
Yeah, totally.
Well, speaking of creatures, you have this guy. This is the first time I'm seeing one in person.
Oh.
This was a Kickstarter that was launched from Big Shot Toy Works.
That's right.
Who was mostly behind the scenes in doing a lot of like the R&D for toys, but now also producing his own design.
Yes. Well, Klim has always had a giant set of characters and sculpts and new IP that he comes up with all the time, which is why he's really good at coming up with characters and new designs for other companies.
Yeah.
It's natural for him. Yes, his role is behind the scenes a lot, but he's really like the player that makes a lot of these designer toys super cool. Like, you don't even know sometimes the designer toys that you like, even though his name isn't attached to it, he's actually like art directed or sculpted. Big Shot's behind the design of it. It is funny how that some people know about that and some people don't. But yeah, Big Shot, he's very skilled person.
And this is a product where end to end it is them. They did a whole Kickstarter for
original
it.
IP. Yes.
And it is a really adorable, cute take on like a food dog character.
Yes.
But called the Shishi.
Yes.
Very neat. Something also that was quite popular is, well, there are a couple different poses. This is the Popek?
Yep, Popek. This is Happy Popek. There's a hot dog Peepek. So if they're peeing, it's a Peepek. If they're pooping, it's a Poopek.
Poopek.
Popek. No, it is a Popek, right? Because this is the poop, right? I guess. I think they're even rolling out other ones. I think this is a really very popular line for Mighty Jack.
UK artist.
Yeah, what's his name is his name. Yeah, very confusing.
What's his name doing the Peepex and the Poopex or the Popex, but they come out with new poses for this character.
Right.
And it's one of my favorites.
I love it. And they sell very well. I keep buying these and buying these and buying these, and they sell out every time I buy them. So to me, that's actually very rare in designer toys. A lot of times in designer toys, like, a concept is just done. After it comes out, it's done. Like, it's over, and then I have to move on and find the next big thing. But these have some longevity, so I really like them.
And sometimes the concepts maybe have a lot of popularity overseas, and they're making their way over to the US. And I think that's exactly the case with 1000 Toys.
Right.
We've mentioned them a bunch on the show, but they also distribute the Wegos, and they do the highly articulated synthetic humans, and you have a few of those here.
Yeah. The action figures are kind of a new thing for Tenacious Toys because we sort of made our name selling the more vinyl PVC art toys, more like this. But I really see the artistry in these action figures. Someone took a lot of time and a lot of care designing them. They're produced to the highest standards. They're probably the highest quality, most fun action figures you can buy and play with. I know you're a huge fan of these things.
Huge fan of the articulation, all the double jointedness.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, and they're great for postability. A lot of the toy photographers love photographing the synthetic humans, and these guys are just adorable. Yeah, the Wegos are ridiculously articulated action figures. Super fun. I love robots. So like having this stuff that opens up and comes out. So Wegos are vehicles. Yeah. So there's a cockpit so you can drive in. They all have different jobs. Like this one is a crossing guard. So and this one's a taxi. So you would take this one to get somewhere. This one will help you cross the street, and then they all have these different stories in this world. But there's supposed to be like people riding in them. That's really the whole thing. But yeah, I mean they have all these parts that open up and all the claws open and they can grip stuff and the hands come off and they have alternate hands. I mean, they're like, it doesn't get any cooler than that. It's toys that are fun to play with.
Yeah, I mean, for someone who grew up on Transformers, like, this is the jam now that I'm an adult,
So what are the things that are exciting you this year? Designer Toy World.
Well, one of the things that I'm really enjoying is the people who have been around for, 5 years or so, they're starting to make those connections to start producing their own toys. So actually, Designer Toys has gone from an industry where you really needed to be at a big company to produce these things in China, and there was only a few big companies. It was like, Medicom and Kid Robot and Toy2R when I first started collecting all this stuff. But now it's So the Dragon Boy is actually a really good example. That's their first time producing a vinyl toy. You can do this now. Like, we all make these connections, and you can produce the toys yourself and make your own run of your own design now. And even independent producers, I mean, this is a media company doing it on their own. This is Klim. Klim tends to work for clients, but obviously he can do it on his own. The really interesting thing to me now is this openness in being able to bring your own design to life. Yeah. And I think that makes it a more creative, a more interesting market right now, because there's so many indie pieces not produced by a big company. A lot of the Sofubi is like, there'll be like 20 of them or 30 of them. It's just some guy's designs. You can even hand sculpt and send it to the Sofubi factory, and they'll mold it for you. You don't even need to know 3D digital design necessarily. Yep. And if you don't, and you do want it 3D prototyped, there's so many 3D sculptors out right now. You can just hire a friend, get your sculpt made, and send the prototype to the factory and get the waxes made.
Those artists to take risks, and allows them to turn their art, which may be traditional art, like drawn art, into a 3D object, and it makes it for collectors a little more fun to then hunt for the things that aren't just from the big four manufacturers.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's really interesting to me. I love that stuff. So cool.
Well, it's great to see you, Benny. Thank you for sharing some of your select toys. I know stuff that you have here are going to sell out, but if not, they'll be on Tenacious Toys?
Yes, that's right. Some of the pieces will sell out. Everything that's going to be left over, I will make available the Monday or the Tuesday after the show, after I go through all the inventory. It'll be all on TenaciousToys.com.
We'll check that out. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Dude, love you, man. Thank you so much.
See you next year.
All right.